It is approximately 1 p.m. And we're coming back from recess from our morning session to consider 3 land use applications that are all generally related. So all of our hearings run generally through the same sequence. The county staff will present the application. We'll invite the applicant to add more detail if they wish. We may have questions during that period. We'll open it up at that point for public comment. If we do have any issues raised by the public, we may ask staff or applicant to address those, or we may have questions after the applicant speaks as well. And then we'll close public comment and move forward to rendering a decision, and that can be to approve with conditions, disapprove, or continue if we feel we don't have the information we need to make a decision. But I think everybody in the room's fairly familiar with the process. So with that, I'd turn it over to you, Stephen, to present the first application.
Roll.
Okay, but first, Amanda would like us to call the roll.
Commissioner Richardson.
I am here.
Commissioner Thayer. Here. Commissioner Schroeder.
Here.
All righty, we are all here. Stephen, the floor is yours.
I'm Stephen Hayes, Planning Manager with the Elbert County Community and Economic Development Department. This is
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing on Silver J Ranch rezone, case number RZ 22-18334.
Second.
Motion and a second to open public hearing on rezone 22-18-3034. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. We're in public hearing this time. Stephen, the floor is yours. Thank you.
This request is to rezone a parcel on Highway 86 from agricultural and residential agricultural to agriculture A2. The applicant is Michael Barney of Elizabeth Park and Recreation. The hearing notice requirements were completed, sign posted, newspaper notice, and the mailed notices were all out, meeting the requirements of our regulations. The landowner is Sherman Jones. The 21-acre parcel is just east of Casey Jones Park on State Highway 86, east of the town of Elizabeth. Casey Jones Park is north and west. East is a 3.29-acre residential parcel. Forest Park Subdivision and Elizabeth Family Health Center are east as well. State Highway 86 is to the south with residential lots south of that. The parcel is outlined in black on the photograph. The proposed rezoning of 15 acres of agriculture and 6 acres residential agriculture to agricultural A2 is compatible with the adjacent Casey Jones Park and maintains the open space that abuts the Forest Park subdivision on the east. The referral agencies did not object to the rezoning request. Article 3C4 of the Zoning Code lists 6 criteria for the commissioners to consider. The 6 criteria are: A, whether the proposed rezoning conforms to and is generally consistent with the goals and policies of the Elbert County Comprehensive Plan. Under 3 Vision, Goals, and Policies section of the Elbert County Comprehensive Plan on page 55, Elbert County supports residential development by encouraging a range of lot sizes and residential densities associated with available roads and infrastructure, and by encouraging the designation of open space and the preservation of areas of visual, historic, and natural consequences. The applicants are combining and rezoning to preserve that wooded area. B, whether the proposed rezoning is compatible with the surrounding land uses. This rezoning request is compatible with the adjacent Casey Jones Park and maintains the open space that abuts the Forest Park subdivision to the east. C, whether the proposed rezoning would adversely impact the provision of public services. The proposed rezoning does not impact the provision of public services. No additional residential areas or access are being proposed. D, whether the proposed rezoning would adversely impact the environment. The applicant wants to preserve the wooded area and leave it in its natural state. The rezoning to agriculture was intended to discourage any further subdividing and not allow the creation of additional lots. E, whether proposed rezoning would create unreasonable traffic congestion or burden the existing road system without improvements. There is no change in the existing uses, no change in the existing driveway, no proposed change in the existing traffic to or from the site. CDOT had no objection. Whether the proposed rezoning will not otherwise be detrimental to the health, safety, or welfare of the present or future inhabitants of Elbert County. The preservation of the wooded area and rezoning to 20-acre minimum lot size through the agricultural district would not be detrimental to the health, safety, and welfare of the inhabitants of Elbert County. The Planning Commission found the following. The proposal is in general conformance with the Elbert County Comprehensive Plan. The proposal meets the criteria for approval in the Elbert County zoning regulations. The proposal is compatible with existing and allowable land uses in the surrounding area. The proposal will not result in significant impact to the health, safety, and welfare of the residents and landowners in the surrounding area. Therefore, the Planning Commission, on a vote of 7-0, recommends the Board of County Commissioners approve the requested Silver J Ranch rezoning from agriculture and residential agriculture to agriculture A2 for the parcels at 11330 State Highway 86. This is case number RZ 2218334. Subject to the following conditions. The applicant required to remove the public hearing sign. Rezoning is not effective until all the fees are paid and conditions are met, and the rezoning exhibit needs to be recorded. And there's an administrative approval and recording of the minor plat combining these two parcels together that also must be handled at the same time. Thank you, Commissioner. That concludes my report.
Any questions from staff at this time? Okay. So my understanding is we're just rezoning two parcels to A2 that when combined will be between 20 and 30, more than 20, less than 35?
Yes, the two parcels are zoned differently from each other.
Other.
To make them both the same.
Okay, thank you. I would invite the applicant up, just if you've got any additional information you'd like to provide. Oh, sir.
Hello, my name is Gary Jones. I am here to represent my father, Sherman Jones, who's going to be 86 in 2 months. He's moving around, doing everything good, but he can't hear worth a darn.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
So I'm stepping in and I'm doing this. We're trying to do this because my father is the son of Casey Jones. My father's 3rd generation on that property. I'm 4th. My son is 5th. My grandsons will be 6th generation on that property. We are trying to preserve this property for the family. It's been in the family for 89 years. So working with Park and Rec has been a blessing. When the rest of the family, because property was divided up, we convinced them to sell to Park and Rec. We wanted to keep our share, and so we kept our share. We just want to combine it so that we can't have anybody come in and say, oh, we'd like to offer you this much money and develop it and everything else. Now, my son's not interested in that. My grandson's. The other great thing is we've got it fenced off, which Park and Rec has helped as well. And so the grandkids can go out there and play and do anything. We're not going to develop any of it. We have the houses already there, so nothing is changing. We just want it to stay the way it's always been. So that would be my presentation to you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate what you're doing and your intent. While you're up here, the conditions regarding recording and the timelines, would you accept those conditions?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant? What happened to the statue?
What?
The statue of Casey Jones.
Well, actually, it wasn't a statue of Casey Jones, and most people don't know this.
Yeah.
It was actually a statue for the war veterans.
Oh, okay.
And there's a certain individual that signed up to take and redo the statue, and somehow it got demolished, scrapped, I don't know, and they've never done anything to replace that, unfortunately. But I know that that's in the works
Okay.
in the future, so
Well, thank you for
that's,
that.
that's
It was,
what happened. It's
it was-
fortunate, but things happen.
alrighty. No, I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
At this point, I'd open up for public comment if there's anybody that would like to comment on this. Seeing none in the room, Amanda, I don't believe anybody wanted to be called or submitted any in writing testimony or questions.
Correct, nobody.
Okay, so with that, I'd close public comment at this time and I guess move on to any final discussion or motions. Any?
I have no discussion.
None here. I think it's just the right thing to do. It sounds like it's being done in the right way. So I would accept a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Silver J Ranch rezone RZ 22-18334 with the conditions of approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve rezone 22-18334 with the conditions as stated. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I'd accept a motion to close public hearing on this item.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to close public hearing on Silver J Ranch rezone RZ 22-18334.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close public hearing. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. We're closed on that. Thank you, sir. Alrighty, so moving on, I'd accept a motion to open Casey Jones Park rezone RZ 22-18818.
Mr. Chairman, I move we open the hearing on Casey Jones Park rezone RZ-22-18818.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to open the Casey Jones Park rezone. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. We're in public hearing. Stephen.
I'm Stephen Hayes, Planning Manager with Elbert County Community and Economic Development Department. This is a rezoning of the Casey Jones property. This request is to rezone a parcel on Highway 86 from residential agriculture, RA, to straight agriculture, A. The applicant is Michael Barney of Elizabeth Park and Recreation. The landowner is Elizabeth Park and Recreation District. The hearing notices were completed in compliance with our zoning and subdivision regulations. A special use review by review application to approve a campground and park improvements is being handled separately in another application to follow this hearing. The 27-acre parcel is inside Casey Jones Park on State Highway 86, east of the town of Elizabeth, shown on the survey above. That's actually a rezone exhibits. Casey Jones Park is north and west of this parcel, the parcel's outlined in dark line. Silver J Ranch residential parcel, which was just discussed at the earlier hearing, is just immediately east of here. And State Highway 86 is to the south with residential lots south of that. The proposed rezoning of 27 acres of residential agriculture to agricultural A to be match and be compatible with the adjoining Casey Jones Park and maintains the existing uses. This is a zoning map of that area. That red rectangle you see on there is the Church of Latter-day Saints. That's a commercial parcel. The referral agencies did not object to the rezoning request. Article 3C4 of the zoning code lists 6 criteria for the commissioners to consider. The 6 criteria are: A, whether the proposed rezoning conforms to and is generally consistent with the goals and policies of the Elbert County Comprehensive Plan. Under 3 Vision Goals and Policies section of the Elbert County Comprehensive Plan on page 59, Elbert County strives to designate park areas and open space that are accessible to the public and protected from future development. B, whether the proposed rezoning is compatible with the surrounding land uses. This rezoning request is compatible with the adjoining Casey Jones Park and maintains that park uses that already exist in the area. C, whether the proposed rezoning would adversely impact the provision of public services. The proposed rezoning does not impact the provision of public services. There are really no changes. D, whether the proposed rezoning would adversely impact the environment. Rezoning does not impact the environment per se. Indirectly, the rezoning will facilitate the park improvements proposed under a different application. That includes installing a new septic and adding connections to some of the campsites, which we believe would improve the environment. E, whether the proposed rezoning would create unreasonable traffic congestion or burden the existing road system without improvements. No additional driveway or access is being proposed with the rezoning. Indirectly, the rezoning will facilitate park improvements, which include improved emergency vehicle access and RV access throughout the campground, and provide a second emergency access on the north side of the parcel. F, whether the proposed rezoning would not otherwise be detrimental to the health, safety, or welfare of the present or future inhabitants of Elbert County. The rezoning will allow additional park uses for this parcel, which is to benefit the residents of the county. The rezoning will facilitate the park's improvements, which include moving or eliminating campsites that were found to be unsafe by the electric company. The plan includes preserving as much as practical the wooded nature of the area. The Planning Commission found the following. The proposal is in general conformance with the Elbert County Comprehensive Plan. Their proposal meets the criteria for approval in the Elbert County zoning regulations. Their proposal is compatible with existing and allowable land uses in the surrounding area. Their proposal will not result in significant impact to the health, safety, and welfare of the residents and landowners of the surrounding area. Therefore, the Planning Commission, on a vote of 7-0, recommends the Board of County Commissioners approve the requested Casey Jones rezone from residential agriculture to agricultural A for the 27-acre parcel at 4189 State Highway 86, case number RZ 22-18818, subject to the following conditions. The applicant will be required to remove the public hearing sign. Rezoning is not effective until the fees are paid and the rezoning exhibit is recorded, and the applicant needs to record a deed combining the two parcels together as part of this proposal. Thank you, Chairman. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Stephen. Do you have any questions for staff? I do not at this time. Mike, do you have anything you'd like to add? Because, I mean, I know it's been a lengthy process to...
Oh, just a little bit of background. So as you guys know, we were able to purchase, as Gary shared, 93 acres from the Silver Jay Trust in March of 2020, which really allowed us to create a much larger regional park there and expand Casey Jones Park from the original 27 acres to now what's going to be 103 acres. And as a part of that agreement negotiation, we agreed to sell 15 of those acres back to Gary Jones and for his adjacent property. So I mean, it was just this has just been a long time of planning and coordination, and thank you guys for your patience and seeing us through all this and making sure that we get everything recorded properly and get this zoning correct so we can continue to pursue the master plan that's been developed for that park. So thank you guys.
While you're still up here, I assume you'll accept the conditions that we
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we'll take care of that stuff.
Anything else for Mike? No, thank you. Alrighty. I'll open for public comment at this time, if any. Amanda, I know we didn't. Okay, so seeing none and having none teed up for phone calls or email input, we'll close public comment at this time and ask for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the Casey Jones Park rezone RZ-22-18818, inclusive of the conditions of approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve rezone 22-18818 with the conditions as were presented. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I would accept a motion to close public hearing on this item.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we close the hearing on Casey Jones Park rezone RZ-22-18818.
Second.
A motion and a second to close public hearing on this item. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right, and I guess on to the SUR portion. I would accept a motion to open public hearing for SU 22-18819.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to open public hearing on Casey Jones Park special use by review, case number SU 22-18819.
Second.
A A motion and a second to open public hearing for the Casey Jones Park special use by review. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We're in public hearing at this time. Stephen?
I'm Stephen Hayes, Planning Manager with Elbert County Community and Economic Development Department. I'm here to present the special use by review case. This request is to approve park and campground improvements for Casey Jones Park on Highway 86. The applicant is Michael Barney of the Elizabeth Park and Recreation District. The landowner is Elizabeth Park and Recreation District. The hearing requirements were met, and this is a concurrent rezoning request was previously heard. The rezoning application to allow this campground was the one you just voted on. The 27-acre parcel is inside Casey Jones Park on State Highway 86, east of the town of Elizabeth. Kind of see that whole park area outlined on the map. The site is outlined in the thick black line here on the north side of Highway 86. It is east of the town of Elizabeth, and the remainder of the Casey Jones Park is both north and west. The park and campground improvements are inside the existing park. East is the 21-acre Silver J Ranch residential agriculture parcel, which was discussed at an earlier hearing. South is Highway 86 and residential homes. The proposed campground and park improvements are primarily on the south side of the park. Highway 86 is on the left on this drawing. It's turned sideways. North is to the right. The improvements include a septic system, sewer and water lines to some of the campsites, widening and grading of the access road, dumpster relocation and new enclosure, adding a secondary emergency access, campsite relocations, parking improvements, and provision for a future permanent residence for the camp host. The existing park pavilion building is at the top of the plan. You can see it at the top of this diagram. The dumpster relocation is shown in green, demolishing the old one that was near the lot line at the bottom of the drawing and then moving it more central to the property. The secondary emergency access is circled in red. The septic field is to the right in the drawing, kind of labeled there on the right side of the drawing. This drawing is intended to show the proposed changes to campsites to move them out from under the overhead power line. It's labeled OHP on the plan. The changes are highlighted in yellow. This is a core requirement for safety reasons. The plan includes a provision to build a permanent camp host dwelling near the covered patio in Site 21. This future residence building would be required to meet the building, fire, and sanitary codes at the time it's permitted for construction. Once the permanent building for a camp host is occupied, the campsite currently set aside for a camp host would just revert back to a regular campsite. The current camp host site allows an individual camper for a maximum of 1 year. The permanent camp host building has no time limits. The referral agency's current concerns have been addressed by the applicant. Article 3E5 of the zoning code lists 8 criteria for the commissioners to consider. The 8 criteria are: A, whether the use is in harmony and compatible with the surrounding area and neighborhood. The SUR request is compatible with the adjoining Casey Jones Park and maintains the park uses that exist in the area. B, whether the use will not have an undue burden on available infrastructure. The infrastructure is being improved as part of this SUR. Better access to the campground, better access for emergency vehicles, and better sanitary facilities. C, whether the use will not unduly increase traffic congestion or burden the existing road system. No change in traffic or trips is predicted. CDOT has reviewed the Highway 86 access and is not requiring any changes at this time. D, whether the use will not cause significant air, odor, water, noise, or light pollution. No nuisance emissions are expected other than during the short construction period. Whether all sanitary requirements will be met. This SUR will provide for hooking up some of the campsites to a central on-site sewer system, which will improve the sanitation in the area. Whether the use will be adequately landscaped, buffered, and screened. This SUR will not change the existing landscaping. New screening, however, is being proposed for the relocated dumpster. Some grading to provide for the relocated campsites and driveway improvements is necessary, but the trees are intended to remain. G, whether the use will not otherwise be detrimental to the health, safety, or welfare of the present or future inhabitants of Elbert County. The proposal will move the campsites that were considered hazardous due to the overhead wires to improve the safety in the area. The preservation of the park and recreational opportunities it provides is for the benefit of the health and welfare of Elbert County. H, supplemental standards are met for specific uses as applicable. The campground, this regulation states all campground structures and congregation areas must meet all accessory setbacks and standards. The proposed camp host site residence will meet these standards. The Planning Commission recommends the Board of County Commissioners approve the Casey Jones Park and finds the following. The proposal is in general conformance with the comprehensive plan. The proposal meets the criteria found in the zoning regulations. The proposal is compatible with existing and allowable land uses in the surrounding area. The proposal will not result in significant impact for the health, safety, and welfare of the residents in the area. Planning Commission recommends approval of the Casey Jones Park SUR, case number SU 22-18819.
Thank you, Stephen.
That concludes my, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it
issues.
doesn't. You do have
Issues are
conditions,
remove
sorry.
the public hearing sign. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
SUR shall not become effective until the fees are paid and the exhibit is recorded. And again, there's a deed they need to record combining the two parks parcels into one. Thank you.
All righty. Any questions for staff? Mike, did you want to speak to this at all, or?
So, as you guys know, we've been, or probably, should probably be aware of, but this campground's been operating since about 2010, and when the Park District built it, well before my time, and didn't go through the permitting processes at that time, and this thing's been operating, and we became aware of it. We got a grant to do some renovations, and so this process has drug out a bit longer because we really had to take several steps back to really start from the beginning and apply for the campground really to exist. And so had a lot of work with a lot of help from Josh Chisholm and his team at Capital AE, who really helped us get this project completed and finally get to the point where we could come here and finish this process, hopefully. But if you guys have any questions on that, we look forward. I mean, it's going to be a better experience for our campers. It's going to be a better campground for the county. It's going to be safer. It's going to make some improved access for emergency services. And so we're really excited about this and allow us to even raise our fees a little bit and spend some grant money that we had received from GOCO for this project. So we're hopeful that you guys will approve it today for us.
Okay, thank you. And you're okay with the conditions?
Conditions, yes, absolutely.
Just a quick question, yeah.
Yeah.
Will you have the same number of campsites?
Yes, it will
We
be the same
relocated
number.
a little bit.
Exactly, yep.
And so you have a centralized dump station now, if I'm right. And not all of them, but some of the new sites will have their own hookups. Will they still dump into the same septic tank, or is there going to be two separate?
There's going to be two now.
There's two separate?
Yep.
Okay.
Because we weren't able, because of the gravity and stuff, so we really had to look at it, how do we want to do this? And so our eventual plans, our future plans, we may want to try to connect all the sites, but right now, with our budget being a little bit limited, we can't pursue the whole thing, and so we're going to get about 2/3 of the sites. With this first phase.
And will the campground remain operating
Yeah.
through the construction?
Well, no, we're going to shut it down starting after the Celtic Fest, so like July 17th, and we have it closed down from July 17th through the end of August, and we think we should be able to finish the construction during that time.
Turnaround, good. Well, thank you.
Yeah, and using an Elbert County contractor, we got the bid for it, Sun Valley contractor, so we're looking forward to keeping the money in the county.
Thank you for that, too. Do we have any public comment on this? Sir.
Gary Jones, obviously being the neighbor, I'm excited about this. It's going to improve the campground. I'm excited about the dumpster being moved away because that's always been an issue that Mike and I have tried to battle through. It'll be a lot easier for the trash service people because they're not coming through the campground. They'll actually come around the other way to remove that. This is a great move on their part.
Thank you for that. And Amanda, we had nobody outside the room that wanted to be contacted.
No, we didn't receive any.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. So with that, I'll close public comment, and I would accept a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve Casey Jones special use by review, case number SU 22-18819, with the conditions that were presented.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve with the conditions as presented as SU 22-18819. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I'd accept a motion to close public hearing on this item.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing on Casey Jones Park special use by review, case number SU 22-18819.
Second.
A motion and a second to close public hearing on this item. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I think is there any other business before us? Okay, seeing none, I will accept a motion to adjourn for the day.
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn.
Second.
All righty, it is approximately 1:30. We are adjourned. Well, we'll take a vote.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, okay. We are adjourned.